Welcome back to the Milwaukee Show, and today we're going to be talking about game number 1 between the Edmonton Oilers and the LA Kings, where the Kings managed to hold on and survive for their life as they get the win 6-5 right before it goes to overtime, and after a absolute just gong show. Not even a gong show. That's the wrong word. That's the opposite of the word for it. What and a mythical level of play in the third period. But let's talk all about it. So first up, the Kings. They go ahead in this game. By the end of the second period, they are up 4-1. 4-1. The first period was just Kings domination. It was called suffocation, is the best way to describe this one. They were just chokeholding and holding down and drowning the Edmonton Oilers in their own zone for the entirety of the first period. The Oilers couldn't get a single thing going. Kemper felt like he was barely even tested. Every time I see it on the screen, I was like, oh, there he is again. I forgot about him. The Kings, Kuzmenko, right? His first goal kicks off this playoffs. Crazy good. I mean, it was a good goal. Good goal, and then Quentin Byfield rounds out the first period with a great just backdoor little goal after the Kings were chipping away at the Oilers for a little bit. Then we get into the second period. Kempe kicks us off, getting the third one. I think it was the second period. Yeah, I think so. But regardless, Adrian Kempe just puts it right in the back of the net after a great, it was a perfect feed, getting it out to the front of the net, and he just goes, whoop, and then just slides it past Skinner, and I just gotta say, Stuart Skinner and the Edmonton Oilers, what are you doing? What on earth is this team doing? I do not understand what the hell goes on up the front office of the Edmonton Oilers. I don't understand how a hockey fan, I know I've been saying for years, since the rookie year of Stuart Skinner, he was a freaking all-star. Stuart Skinner was an NHL all-star. I've been the biggest naysayer of him, and now that everyone's rounding out, putting him at the last place of the Pacific Division, everyone could jump on and say, oh, we all knew he was bad all along. I don't think so. Everyone, especially Edmonton fans, were all like, oh yeah, he's a goalie. He's not great right now, but he's getting there. He's getting there. He's good, but not great. He's going to get great. No. Stuart Skinner is one of the worst goaltenders I have ever seen in the NHL. I don't understand. Any kind of other goaltender, you could almost slide in and maybe hope for a better performance. Skinner just is not a starting goaltender for a great team like the Edmonton Oilers. I mean, look how good the Oilers are. They have Connor McJesus in the third period alone, almost literally drags the Oilers from looking like just a bunch of bitches on the ice into looking like, oh yeah, this team's winning the Stanley Cup. And because this team has nobody else but Connor McDavid in the playoffs, I should say, then they lose. They lose with 42 seconds left by Philip Deneau getting the winner right at the end. Right after McJesus had done everything in his soul, including scoring one of the greatest goals I've ever seen in the playoffs, is just wiped off the planet because this team is horribly formatted. And I know there's an injury to Matthias Ekholm, but he should not be the only defenseman. Tell me what would be more useful. Evan Bouchard getting 3 assists in this game? Or if you flipped out Evan Bouchard and you inserted, say, it's kind of hard to compare because he hasn't gotten his big extension yet. I was going to, compare money-wise, but we don't have that yet. But I would say even an Eric Chernak, right? And I know that's kind of a ridiculous example, but would you not rather, on the Edmonton Oilers, have a guy to be great in his own defensive zone, checking guys, slowing down the other team, being strong on the puck, slowing guys down all the time, blocking shots, or a guy like Evan Bouchard? It's just Kings team. I mean, this Oilers team, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. This team should actually, and I hate the Oilers. I don't want them to win at all, but I know what they could be. Look at any other team, right? And I'm not saying that this one fix could make them win a Stanley Cup. But if you're telling me that look at the recent trades and transactions in the NHL, right? The freaking Oilers spend more than $5-6 million between the 2 Skinners on their team who are just liabilities. And they could have gotten Darcy Kemper, who was traded this offseason, and now they're playing against him. They could have Mackenzie Blackwood traded this season during the year, and now he, and I personally believe, looks like the best player the Avalanche currently have, or is the biggest reason they've won their first 2 games. Just look at all these tiny transactions that have panned out so well for some teams. You're telling me the Oilers couldn't do one of those? Just one. I don't get it. And this team should be so much better. The third period, of course, was absolutely insane. But the Kings, this is what we saw the Oilers do last year. They get themselves in a pit that McJesus has to drag them out of. Look at the playoffs last year. Look at the freaking, the Panthers series, right? They were down. And somehow the Oilers were able to drag themselves back until it was too little too late. Because the Panthers have already got such a big hole that the Oilers should be so much better. Tiny fixes that have existed around the league that the Oilers could have made. But instead, they rely on the same bad defense with a horrible goaltender that has shown his true colors every single year. And somehow this team is still good enough to make the Stanley Cup Finals. Unreal. Because of one guy. One man. It's crazy. But the Kings, they should own this series. They should own this one. I think this is such a blood rivalry at this point, and they are just so deep, and they know exactly what to get themselves into especially like this game. I think the Kings are going to come out and do the exact same thing they did this game. I think they're going to start suffocating them. I think the Oilers might come out with a little bit more juice than they started this game with, especially because of what McDavid did last time. The Kings might be a little bit tentative or just a little bit more precautious of McDavid, and that might slow them down. So I could see the first period ending 1-1, 2-1. I don't know which way it would be, but I just feel like overall I think the Kings will play a much better game. They know how to contain. I think they're only going to get better through this series, and to me, they're going to slowly whittle out how to be better scorers, even though they started great in this game. And I think the Oilers, unless they get their act together, which I don't believe is going to happen, I think the Oilers are screwed. I could see this one ending 5-5 for the LA Kings, and I have no hope for the Oilers, even though I should. I should have all the hope in the world, but I don't. It's crazy. So to me, I know I haven't said very much about anything except rambled about the Oilers, but the Kings, unreal play for them. I mean, Kuzi, Byfield, Kempe, Deneau twice, and Fiala. All the guys you want to get on the board got on the board tonight, right? Big plays by everybody. Doughty looked good. The defense looked good. Kemper looked good when he needed to be until the third period, but I don't know if I really blame Darcy Kemper for that at all. I mean, it's partial, but not at all, not all of it. So yeah, great game number 1. I'm super excited to see where the following series of this one goes. And I think that is all I gotta say. So thank you for watching this. Until next time, too sweet. I hope you have an amazing day. Please subscribe. And until next time, ta-ta for now.